good, y'all? It's your boy Santo G, back at it. You already know, spreading unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. It don't cost you nothing, and it will help out this channel and help out this movement. So without further ado, this one is one that I wanted to touch on, and I've been meaning to touch on it for a while, but I've just been pretty busy. And when I talk about stuff like this, I like to be clear-headed. You know what I'm saying? If I got stuff going on at home and I know I'm not going to give my all to it, I won't even do these. So that's why I haven't done these in a while. Just been going through all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? Your boy's better now, though. I appreciate y'all. So let's get into this. And this one's coming from one of my subscribers. They asked me if I could touch on this subject. And let me shout out the teacher USC. I appreciate you for your support, man. I know you've been a day one since I had like 50 subscribers, man. So salute to you, and I apologize it took me this long to get to it. So I was asked, what do I think about the youth and them not really having respect for the older cats? You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people just looking at the older homies like we goofies or something. And I say this because I seen a little clip that the full community posted of some rapper, Little Moco, talking about homies go to the pen and then come out demanding respect, and how a youngster like him looks at us like we goofies because we got arrested, right? Because we got caught up. 9 times out of 10, what people don't understand as far as older homies, our mentality back then and the way we was raised, at least my generation. I was born in 91, I'm 31 right now. So I could only speak for my generation, you know? But when I was 15, 16, before I got put on the neighborhood, the homies told me like, hey, you know what? Right now, it's a war zone. Right now, it's hot. And if you want to be from the hood, just know, right now, you're more than likely to end up in prison for life, or you're more than likely to end up at the cemetery. Very few of us make it out unscathed, you know, and able to be OGs and retire and be without nothing touching you, you know. Very few make it out like that, you know. And being a youngster, having that mentality, I still did what I did, you know, and I don't regret it. And the reason I say I don't regret it, because it gave the city the peace that it has now. You know what I'm saying? Without us doing what we did, knowing that if we do this, you're bound to get caught up. But you know what? We took the chance and we took the risk because at the time it was war. At the time, you couldn't even walk to the corner of the fucking store. You couldn't even walk to the liquor store in the corner of your house without getting jammed up, without getting harassed either by the police or by another motherfucker, you know? So, what do you think? Motherfucker just supposed to be like, oh, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm a scary ass fucking little kid. I'm good. No. If you're being harassed and your family members can't even walk to the corner, you know, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And you know, they say there can't be peace without war. There can't be peace without bloodshed. If you look at history itself tells you that, you know? So if we wouldn't have done what we did, you think you would have the respect you have now? We have come a long way from where we were back then. You think your family members will be able to walk to the corner or to the store in peace if homies didn't do the sacrifice that they did? You really think that? Because I don't believe that. I lived it. I lived through all of it. I lived through the war on the street and I lived through the war in prison. And let me tell you that without people doing what they did and sacrificing their lives and sacrificing themselves, you wouldn't have the peace and the respect you have now. That's just my point of view. Let me know what you guys think. Now, I want to talk about it being the other way. Now, back then, yeah, you had people with straps and stuff like that, you know, but the most you seen was like a revolver or like a 10 shots. Now you got these youngsters out here with drums, extendos, choppers, You know, so I'm not gonna say that the youth has gotten soft because it's not like that. They out there packing and they out there ready. I just think they need guidance, you know? Honestly, I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything like that, but when it comes for as far as the homies, my generation, because my generation is on top of that little moke or whatever, you know, my generation is the generation before his. So I can only speak for my generation. Why a lot of us ain't out here and stuff like that is because most of us are doing life. Either dead, doing life, or doing a long bid. And we're not here, you know? And the generation before us, they're already settled down with their families and all that. They ain't trying to get in the mix. So you got these youngsters out here running around with no guidance. I think that's where it goes wrong, you know? People need guidance and, you know, don't knock the generation before you because we sacrifice a lot so you could have what you have now. So you could walk around with your head up high. And I'm speaking because I did 10 years to it. You know what I mean? I lost damn near all my 20s, all my teens, all my 20s to that. So that's why I'm speaking about it with so much passion that I am, because I hear certain youngsters, you know, trying to bash the generation before them. And it's like, my boy, you don't even know. Like, you don't know the loss that we lost. You don't know what we had to go through, the struggles, the wars. Not only in here, not only out here, but inside them walls. You know what I'm saying? And I still stand by my decision that I wouldn't change nothing. I would still do what I did. I did my time like a man. And I'm out here like a man, you know? Taking care of my kids, providing for my family. And actually trying to do something. And to say otherwise, you get arrested for an attempted murder at 16, right? At 16 years old, you get arrested for an attempted murder. You hold it down because I held that shit down. I took the rap. One of my crimies ended up getting 5 years probation, 5 years joint suspension. He's the one that fucking told. And my other crimey ended up pleading out to a whole nother case. And I'm the one that got 10 years. And I was 16 and they were older. You know what I mean? So you go through that, you keep it solid, and then come and tell me. You go do 10 years, you keep it solid, then come and tell me. And I'm not talking about just keep sitting on my hands. I'm talking about was actually getting caught with knives, going on missions. You know what I mean? The homie had got caught with a phone. I took 90 days for him just so he could get his family visits. I was actually in there still helping out the cause and doing all kinds of stuff. So now I'm right here just giving you guys some wisdom, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. My bad if I went on a whole nother little story, man, but I just talk about this with so much passion, man, because I gave so much of my life to this, you know? For someone to come and say I'm goofy just for going to jail, like, no. Nah, I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was getting myself into. And I did it like a man, and I did it so you could have the respect and the peace you have now. So don't sit here and bash any homies that ever been in there and went through those wars and went through those changes. Because you don't know what's going through our mind and why we did it. Unity, prosperity, and respect above all.